Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Wednesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Diana Master. In the news tonight, nearly 1 in every 3 Namibians is receiving a social grant, while roughly 1 in every 6 people in the country has a job, according to data from the Namibia Statistics Agency and the 2026-2027 budget documents. This translates to about 29% of the population on social grants and about 17 to 18% in employment. The figures presented by Finance Minister Erika Shafuda on Monday in the National Assembly showed that the allocation for social grants increased by 1.5% from 7.27 billion Namibian dollars in 2025-2026 to 7.38 billion Namibian dollars this financial year. Namibia has a wide-ranging social protection system covering multiple grant categories, including old age pensions, vulnerable grants, adult and minor disability grants, maintenance grants, the Consolidated Basic Income Grant, foster care support, and funeral benefits. According to Shafuda, social grants remained a major expenditure driver of the operational budget, with a 99% execution rate. The funding reached 954,388 beneficiaries across 8 grant categories during the latest financial year. The largest share of spending went to the old age grant, which accounted for 4.14 billion Namibian dollars and supported 224,589 beneficiaries. The vulnerable grant followed at 1.05 billion Namibian dollars for 240,620 beneficiaries, while adult disability grants totaled 1.17 billion Namibian dollars for 62,498 recipients. Other allocations included 245.6 million Namibian dollars for disability grants for minors, 390.9 million for maintenance grants, and 192.1 million under the Consolidated Basic Income Grant, reaching 27,392 people. Foster care grants amounted to 25.7 million for 4,810 beneficiaries, while funeral benefits totaled 51.7 million, covering 287,087 individuals. Shafuda said the social grant budget allocation for 2026-27 is set at $7.38 billion under the Social Protection Services Program, up by 1.5% from 7.27 billion Namibian dollars in the previous year. Getting into our next story, Namibia has taken a significant step forward in strengthening inclusive, outcome-driven conservation with the formal recognition of its first ever effective area-based conservation measures. These newly recognized conservation areas highlight the country's commitment to protecting biodiversity beyond traditionally proclaimed protected areas. According to a statement by the World Wildlife Fund, Namibia OECMs are geographically defined spaces that are governed and managed in ways that achieve long-term conservation outcomes, even though they are not officially designated as national parks or reserves. It said that the approach recognizes that conservation success is not limited to state-owned land, but can also thrive across communal, private, and mixed-use landscapes. In doing so, OECMs complement Namibia's existing network of national parks, communal conservancies, and community forests. The first 3 OECM sites formally recognized in Namibia are Namibrand Nature Reserve, Pro Namib Nature Reserve, and Canyon Nature Park. Together, these areas span approximately 318,480 hectares of land dedicated to long-term biodiversity conservation. Their combined footprint plays a critical role in improving landscape connectivity and safeguarding ecosystems across diverse land use zones. The recognition was officially marked during a validation workshop and certification ceremony held from the 30th to the 31st of March 2026 at the Country Club in Windhoek. The event represented the culmination of an extensive consultative process aimed at validating Namibia's national framework and guidelines for identifying OECMs. Speaking at the ceremony, WWF Namibia Country Director Dr. Julian Ziedler praised the country's long-standing leadership in conservation. Minister of Works and Transport Veiko Nkundi has called for a decisive shift toward locally owned contractors in road construction, saying time has come for Namibians to take charge of infrastructure development. Speaking today at the opening of the rehabilitated Aris River Bridge along the Windhoek-Rehoboth Road, Nkundi said 36 years after independence, the sector must move away from reliance on foreign-owned enterprises, even those registered locally. He urged the Roads Authority to redesign its approach and prioritize meaningful joint ventures that ensure Namibian ownership, warning that continued preference for wholly foreign-owned companies will carry consequences. Let's take a look at this next video.
Your craftsmanship in Namibia do thank you in that regard. However, Chairperson, CEO and your team, time have come. Time have come, 36 years into independence. Everything must have matured. Everything must have matured. And I'm winning you off to be Namibian in totality. We must move fast to ensure that Namibian locally owned enterprises, meaning enterprises that are owned by Namibians, must take charge of roads construction. No matter how much complex they are, they must be able to take charge. Time have come, and you must change focus, redesign your approach. It cannot be business as usual. It cannot be 36 after independence. We still have foreign wholly owned enterprises. Yes, I take note that they are registered in Namibia, but we want Namibians to take ownership of the drive toward infrastructure developments. Time have come that you must start moving into real and meaningful joint ventures, if need must be. 50%, 49% must trigger in as a matter of urgency. There is no room. And I, the chairperson, that must be one of your responsibility in your performance agreement with me and you with your management. Now this is no more time to negotiate on that. It is deliberate, I'm unapologetic, and I'm very much decisive on that regard. Anybody who recommends an enterprise that is foreign wholly owned, even locally registered, consequences will flow. It cannot be continued like that. Namibians must take charge. And I tell you now, no amount of reason I will appreciate that they have no capacity. Then all of you, I will create a roadway out of Namibia. Because then we are failing to create capacity. We have obligation as a state, and you are part of the state, to create capacity for our people. Time have come, and that is uncompromised policy directive to Road Authority. Not negotiable.
Getting into our next story, Ndahafa Matthias has walked away with a partially furnished two-bedroom house in Osona. Excuse me, we do apologize for that. We are experiencing some technical difficulties. We will be right back right after this. We do apologize for that. Nevertheless, getting into our next story, Ndahafa Matthias has walked away with a partially furnished two-bedroom house in Osona after winning the grand prize in Metro's birthday promotion. The competition, which ran from November 2025 to the end of January 2026, attracted 16 million entries. As part of the prize, Matthias also received a 10,000 Namibian dollar Metro Home voucher. Two other finalists each walked away with 20,000 Namibian dollars Metro shopping vouchers, along with dual 9-litre air fryers sponsored by Bennett Reed. The 41-year-old proud new owner of a two-bedroomed house expressed a heartfelt gratitude to Metro Namibia for changing her life. She described the home as a true blessing, especially in today's tough economic climate, where even affording a one-bedroom has become increasingly difficult.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, I'm Dafa Mateus. I'm from Windhoek. I'm 41 years old. I'm so super excited and I'm so much grateful to Metro and to God for this house. Can you imagine a full 2-bedroom in this Namibia where you pay a bond for 20 years and I got to go away with it for free? All costs included. It's just a blessing that I don't know. I can't express myself now. The excitement is too much, but I'm fully grateful to God and to Metro, really. I'm truly happy.
Stay with us after the break. We bring you our Story of the Day segment.
Do you like traveling?
Do you like to experience new places?
Well, then you should tune into On the Rock, where we explore enjoy establishments all over Namibia and South Africa. Great food, great fun, and so much more. So be sure to mark your calendar as we explore the beautiful landscapes of Namibia at the various enjoy establishments.
And where we also get to go on game drives, different activities, and meet the awesome staff of the different establishments.
We will see you there. Watch On the Rocks every Monday at 9 p.m. on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25.
And now getting into our story of the day. Namibia is potentially missing out on tens of billions in sustainable support for its veterans, with annual allocations being spent rather than invested, warns Member of Parliament Toby Alpindi. Speaking during the budget debate for the Defence and Veteran Affairs Ministry, Alpindi said the absence of a properly capitalised Veterans Fund has turned decades of government spending into a short-term spend-as-you-go exercise, denying veterans the long-term financial security they deserve and costing the nation billions in lost investment returns. Grants for war veterans dominated the ministry's spending in 2005-2026 financial year, with more than $1 billion Namibian disbursed to benefit 23,694 beneficiaries by March this year, representing 68.4% of the ministry's total allocation. Deputy Minister of Defence and Veterans Affairs Charles Mobita, delivering a speech on behalf of Minister Frans Kapofi, said the Veterans Program received $1.5 billion Namibian, of which 94.2% had been effectively utilized. He detailed that $313 million Namibian was used to support 1,840 veterans through individual veterans projects, while a further $30 million Namibian was allocated for once-off gratuities to 609 beneficiaries who were granted veteran status following successful appeals. By law, beneficiaries are those recognized as veterans of the liberation struggle, defined as individuals who consistently and persistently participated in the liberation struggle politically, militarily, diplomatically, or through underground activities. Looking ahead, Kapofi said that for the 2026-2027 financial year, the program has been allocated $1.3 billion Namibian. The funding will cover monthly subventions, welfare grants for ex-planned combatant veterans, one-off gratuities, IVPs, medical and psychosocial support, as well as the operations for the Veterans Board and the National Honours Advisory Committee. Stay with us after the break. We bring you the latest in economic news. Tonight in economic news, the minister revealed that Anglo American, the parent company of De Beers PLC, has decided to divest from De Beers and is selling the company to investors, a development that marks a significant moment for a sector that has long been central to Namibia's economy. Amutse placed the divestment in the broader context of challenges facing the diamond industry. We are experiencing a perfect storm of challenges, the minister said, pointing to a combination of international market pressures and evolving competition. Tariffs on polished diamonds imposed by the United States, 15% on Namibian stones, have added cost pressures, while lab-grown diamonds, which are not subject to the same tariffs, have become increasingly popular, are altering the global landscape. Meanwhile, demand in key markets such as the USA and China has weakened, further straining the sector. The impact of these factors is already visible. Royalties collected from the diamond industry dropped to 644 million Namibian dollars in the last financial year, reflecting the sector's decreased contribution to the national revenue. The industry supports about 1,100 direct jobs and provides indirect employment for thousands more Namibians in related services and trade. Despite the challenges, Amuta stressed that the government is taking proactive steps to safeguard the sector and its workforce. Now let's take a look at the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 22.40 against the British pound, 19.58 against the euro, 16.94 to the US dollar, and 2 Namibian dollars and 46 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. Looking at commodities, gold and platinum are on an upturn of 1.33 and 0.22% respectively, while copper and Brent crude oil are on a downturn of 0.53 and 2.26% respectively. Now, at least 4 people have been killed by a series of powerful explosions at an ammunitions depot in Burundi's largest city, Bujumbura. More to follow after the break as we head into international news.
From the heart of the continent to its farthest horizons, Africa awakens with stories that shape our world. This is Africa Good Morning, your window into the pulse of a dynamic continent. I'm Ashwin Berry, here to deliver the latest news, sharp insights, and the vibrant spirit of Africa. Every weekday, we dive into the headlines, uncover untold stories, and spotlight the people driving change. Plus, stay ahead with daily weather forecasts and economic updates to navigate your week with confidence. With direct coverage from our correspondents on the ground, we bring you in-depth access to Africa's beating heart. Mondays, Mike Situla reports from Zambia.
Africa Good Morning.
Tuesdays, Talent Gore covers Zimbabwe.
Africa.
Wednesdays, Rorisang Mohojwe brings Botswana's news. Dumela, Rorisang.
Thank you very much, Ashwin, for having me right here on Africa Good Morning. It is always a pleasure to be here with you all.
Thursdays, Ari Hogarth tackles South Africa.
Yes, very good morning, Ashwin and Anna. Yes, a good atmosphere.
And Fridays, we focus on Namibia's bold narratives. From thriving cities to rugged plains, our team is there, capturing the rhythm of a continent on the rise. Africa Good Morning is your essential start. News, weather, economics, and more.
Tonight in international news, at least 4 people have been killed by a series of powerful explosions at an ammunitions depot in Burundi's largest city, Bujumbura, local residents have told the BBC. The blast erupted late on Tuesday at the facility located in the suburb of Musaga due to an electrical fault, an army spokesperson said. Shrapnel and debris were propelled more than 5 kilometers, and several houses in nearby districts were destroyed by the force of the explosions. The authorities have not yet provided any casualty figures, but family members and eyewitnesses told the BBC of 4 separate deaths in the city. The AFP news agency quotes security sources as saying that dozens of people had died. One woman told BBC Gahuza that a relative who had been detained at Mpimba Central Prison had died after a bomb hit the facility. Numerous inmates at the prison, which is located near the ammunition store, are reported to have been injured. In the northeastern neighborhood of Gisandema, witnesses told BBC Gahuza that a bomb had destroyed a house and killed a domestic worker. The authorities have said they cannot yet comment. The explosion sent plumes of smoke rising above the city, sparking panic in the city of more than 1 million people. President Evariste Ndayishimiye, in a message on X, expressed his condolences to all Burundians, adding that the authorities are here to help on the number of casualties as they are still assessing the extent of the damage. That brings us to the end of our international news segment. Now let's take a look at the weather predictions. Windhoek can expect some partly cloudy conditions. Maximum temperatures will be at 28 degrees Celsius and minimum temperatures will be at 17 degrees Celsius. Looking over in Katima Mulilo, it is going to be quite hot. Maximum temperatures will be at 31 degrees Celsius. Minimum temperatures are expected to be at 18 degrees Celsius. Over at the coast, both Swakopmund and Walvis Bay can expect some showers. Maximum temperatures will be at 24 degrees in Walvis Bay and minimum temperatures will be at 18 degrees Celsius. In Oranjemund, it's bright and sunny skies. Maximum temperatures will be at 22 degrees Celsius and minimum temperatures will be at 13 degrees Celsius. And now, let's get into our latest sports news. Kavango East Governor Hambiuka Hamunyera today officially sent off regional teams set to participate in the upcoming Nedbank Namibian Newspaper Cup, scheduled to take place in Keetmanshoop this year. Hamunyera called on the teams to represent the region with pride, stressing the importance of discipline, teamwork and determination in their quest for success at the tournament. Let's take a look.
But if it was a war, it's not easy. This one is simple, send you off. Even if you are loose, you come back. You win, you come back. So in a war, you are deployed, you are sent off. It's just for the person who sent you off to think of whether you come back or you not come back. But this time around, I can see we are smiling because we are ready. The Master of Ceremony said we are disorganized. To me, I see there's one team, one group disorganized, one group organized. Yeah? I'm speaking spade. Eh? One group is organized, the other group is disorganized. Which one is disorganized? The boys. Are we hungry? I'm not hearing. I cannot hear you. What are we responding? Are we ready or we are not ready? We are ready. We are ready. Yes, that's what I want to hear. Voice comes out. Not we are ready.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. I am Diana Master, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.